All right. A lot of people are freaking out right now, thinking that TikTok is going to be banned. Their business, their livelihood, the whole thing in the US, is relying on TikTok. And I am here to say the good news, my prediction is it will not be banned. There's less than a 10% chance of TikTok being banned. I just wrote an article here on it, and I want to just share generally why I think it's not going to be banned in my experience. And then if it is, you can make fun of me in the comments, but I really think it won't. So, and like very unlikely, not a 50-50 kind of thing. So, first, I'm going to give just a couple overall reasons why it might be banned or things, in that direction. And then overall, why it will not in the end. So, the US and China, they're adversaries in geopolitics. The US does not want the Chinese government collecting information that they think they do on TikTok. So that's a huge one. That's in the Supreme Court, the whole thing there. Another one, it's unfair. China does not allow US social media companies to operate there. I actually lived in China for over 15 years. And if you want to use Facebook or YouTube there, I needed a VPN. It's not a fair deal. They ban stuff and it doesn't go the other way. Okay. And threatening to ban TikTok is a big leverage point in US Chinese negotiations. So if they say they're going to ban it, then what can they get in return? So the unfair thing, anyway, is a big one. There is bipartisan consensus in the US government that they don't want Chinese government control of the app. There's zero trust between the governments. So whatever they say, they're not going to believe it, whether it's true or false. Just they don't trust each other. Some US companies benefit from TikTok being banned. You think about Facebook or Meta, Google, YouTube, the whole thing. If TikTok is banned in the States, then a lot of TikTok's users are going to need to, watch or use Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts instead. So they make more money just by, disappearing one of their competitors. And Facebook and YouTube have been cozying up with Trump, and they've donated each company over $1 million, or exactly 1 million, I forget, to Trump's inauguration. And they're in his ear for sure, saying, think about all this extra money we'll get. And India banned Trump. There was a precedent, summer of 2020, and you still cannot use that. And India had a lot of TikTok users, and they just pulled the plug on it. But the government of India is different than in the States. But, it did happen. And a lot of parents in the US want TikTok banned. They don't want their teenagers, they don't want their little kids on this thing, spending too much time getting the wrong ideas, learning the news on there, but could be anything. They don't want their teens on there learning, whatever they're learning, wasting time, all the bad habits. But with all that said, I still think there's less than a 10% chance of it being banned. Money, that's the big one. In the US, TikTok has 170 million users. That's like about half the country. 7 million US small businesses who are powerful altogether. They use TikTok. So they, advertise on there. They generate revenue because they're promoting themselves on there. Over 2 million content creators in the US who make over $300 million per month. So if TikTok goes dark, which they're threatening to do, where does that money go? It just disappears. So money, that's a huge one. That's why it's not going to be banned in the end. There's a lot of people in the U.S. who want to buy it. They've shown interest. So if the ownership changes from Chinese, like ByteDance's thing, into American or at least a trusted ally's hands, it'll be a different game. So Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, Elon Musk. Again, with Musk, he got Twitter, now X. That's going to be an issue, obviously, with anti-competition laws, but people want to buy it, and it's worth a lot of money, billions of dollars. So it's going to be hard just to evaporate that. Now, TikTok, they know how valuable it is in the US. They're not stupid either. So now they're threatening. They're saying it's just going to go dark, like what happened in India. So if you're in the originally, what was going to happen is, people who had it on their phones, like these 170 million people, you could still use it, but they weren't going to add any new updates to the app. They were just going to, you could use it, but it would be a slow upgrade, and then a slow slope down to people using it less and less because they couldn't improve with it. However, going dark is just shutting it off completely, and that's going to make these businesses and creators and everybody kind of freak out because all the money they're losing. So TikTok's using that as leverage to say, if you're going to play around with these rules, we're just going to shut it off. Now, they don't want to do that, but it's a leverage play. Banning TikTok goes against the spirit of free speech in the States. I'm not going to be a constitutional expert here. I won't pretend to be, but American government banning a social media platform when people, like, half the country uses it and shares their opinions on there, just to delete it. That's a tough go. That's not a very American thing at the end of the day. So it's a huge one legally. So with all that said, my prediction, it's not going to be banned. Almost certainly not. There could be a small period while they're playing this game of chicken where, like, maybe a month to 3 at the most, maybe a couple days. But I'll say I'm wrong. If TikTok is actually banned after 3 months, I would say that would be like, you can make fun of me. But I think it's going to be either a short ban or no ban at all. I'll be shocked if people cannot use it again because of all the money people are making on there. So, is TikTok really, if they get forced to shut it down, are they going to shut it down and keep it shut down for like forever? That makes no sense to me. So I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Check out, I'll put the link in the show notes. So check it out. Let me know what you think. I could be wrong, but that is my opinion. So a lot of people are just saying, what am I going to do now? I would say don't do anything because it is going to be up and stay up. And if it comes down, it'll be short. That's what I think.